Hello, good afternoon, student. I am Mr. Prashant Dilip Deshmukh from Shri Shivaji College of Art, Commerce and Science, Akola, Department of Botany, and today I will teach you how to perform experiments on paper chromatography. Okay, so every one of you know that as we are looking for the virtual experimentation, please focus on every aspects and every content which I have recorded, and please see it up to the end so that you will get all the details regarding with this experiment. So thank you, please be with us, stay tuned, stay home, stay safe. Hello, good afternoon, student. So this is our first practical in this year, because every one of you know that we are going through a harsh period of COVID pandemic, and that's why as we have planned all the theory periods online, in the same way we are also trying to give you practical demonstrations in the online platform. Okay, so friend, this is our first practical from the final year, and this is very interesting one. So today we have to study uh, chromatographic experiment with the title separation of plant pigment by paper chromatography. Okay, so here what we have to do, we have to study what are the various pigments which are present in spinach leaf, because here we have taken spinach as one of the example. So you can take any leaf, but as the practical guideline gives us, so that's why we have selected here spinach. So we have to separate the various pigments from the spinach leaf. So every one of you know that the plants perform photosynthesis because of the various pigment present in that, and that pigments are responsible for the absorptions of different types of wavelength, which are finally transferred to the which are finally converted into the chemical energy, and later on it is finally leads to the formation of food. Okay, so in order to perform this experiment you have to require all that things which I have set up here. One by one I will introduce each requirement of this experiment. So this is a spinach leaf. Okay, so we have collected a fresh spinach leaf from the field, and we have washed it properly so that we have to remove all the dust and all the chemical components which are present on the surface. Then this is the mortar and pestle. Here we have to grind that spinach leaves, and after that we have to filter that extract through this muslin cloth. Okay, so while grinding that spinach leaf we have to use acetone as a chemical, and you have to mix that you have to prepare that extract of the spinach leaf in 80% acetone. Okay, so this is the purpose of this mortar and pestle. Then after that, here this is a fine hollow glass tube that is called as capillary tube, and that capillary tube is helpful for loading the sample, which I will explain you later. So what is important of that capillary tube, that capillary, once you dip into the solution get automatically moves in upward direction due to the capillary action. So that role is performed by this capillary tube, means for the loading sample on the Whatman paper. This is the Whatman filter paper. So this Whatman filter paper which we are using here, that is for loading the sample, and the speciality of that Whatman filter paper is that it is a porous in nature, so that whenever any solvent move from one end to the another end of the Whatman filter paper, so in the middle if there is any chemical is uploaded, so that chemical is also move along with that running solvent. Okay, so that's why we have used here Whatman filter paper. So here we have make a strip, a rectangular strip of Whatman filter paper that we have to use. Then what chemicals we require to perform this experiment? The first, here the acetone is there, we have to make a dilution of acetone up to 80%. After that we required sometime petroleum ether is also used in order to make a running solvent, but what is happened, sometime butanol is also preferred. Okay, so you can go either for petroleum ether or you can either go for butanol. So we have to make a ratio. So for that butanol and that acetone, in a ratio that I will told you later. So this is what regarding with the requirement what we needed in order to perform this experiment. Look at here. So this is a jar. What is the role of this? We have to first of all we have to pour the solution into that jar, and after that we have to dip the one end of the strip into the jar so that it will touch the one end of the solution. After that, that strip is having a already loaded sample, so that solution which is in touch with the strip, that will run in upward direction. So along with that, whatever the sample you have loaded, that shows the separation of chemical from that loaded sample. Okay, so this is the requirement which we needed in order to perform this experiment. Okay students, so for that, first of all we have to prepare the spinach extract in 80% acetone. So in order to prepare the spinach extract in 80% acetone, we have to use that mortar and pestle so that we can grind the spinach properly and filter with the help of muslin cloth. Okay, so before that we have to prepare 80% acetone. So this is a pure acetone. Okay, so we have to take a 40 ml of acetone, dissolve in or mix up with 10 ml of distilled water. Okay, so that will make 80% solution, 80% of acetone. Okay, and we have to prepare the spinach extract in this 80% acetone. Okay, so this is a prepared 80% acetone. We have to add this in a level beaker. Now what you have to do, first of all break the spinach in multiple fragments or segments so that it will helpful you to prepare its extract properly. Okay, so and after that you have to grind it. So after grind it 2 to 3 times, you have to add a few drops of or up to 5 to 10 ml of 80% acetone. Okay, so the quantity of how much gram of spinach needs to take, that is not a fix, but you can take approximate spinach with approximate amount of 80% acetone so that it will prepare somewhat thick spinach extract. Okay, so once you grind it multiple times and properly, so you will get a leaf extract which you have to filter later on with the help of muslin cloth. So, okay, so here we have prepared the spinach extract. Now what we have to do, we have to filter it. So with the help of this muslin cloth, we have to filter it. So for that, we have to filter it in a beaker so that it will properly filter. If needed, you can press the leaves once it taken into a muslin cloth so that more amount of filtrate get filtered and collect in a beaker. Okay, so look at here, you can press it. So with this we can collect our sample of experiment today. Okay, so this is the spinach extract in 80% acetone. Okay. Okay, now what we have to do, we are having a capillary tube. So this is the capillary tube. So we have to dip that capillary tube, and once it dip into the spinach extract, we have to put the finger over that so that due to the capillary actions, the sample get run in upward direction in the tube, and after that we have to load a drop of this sample on this Whatman filter paper. So for that, how to make a strip of a Whatman filter paper, and what two types of chromatography that we can horizontal as well as vertical we can use for our experimentation, that I will told you. A strip of a chromatograph of a Whatman filter paper for experimentation. So look at here. So this is the circular Whatman filter paper. So in order to plan horizontal chromatography, you have to simply use the entire Whatman filter paper, and you have to make a central hole in the center, so that you can use it in such a way so that the running solvents can move through this centrally placed blotting paper through this hole. Okay, so I have fold this circular paper in two fold, and then we have to make a cut on one corner so that it will generate a hole in the center of this filter paper. And what we have to do, how we can run the setup. So these are the two Petri plate. In one Petri plate, which is at the bottom, we have to add our running solvent. Then we have to place a filter paper over that, and then the another Petri plate we have to place in an invert manner. Okay. Now the question is that how the solutions, that is the running solvent, come in a contact with this filter paper. So for that we have to make a circular roll of a blotting paper, which we have to insert through that hole, and one end of it is in contact with the running solvent, which we have to take in a Petri plate. So this is regarding with the horizontal chromatography. This is not our experimental, this is not our practical concern. In our practical, we have to generally perform vertical chromatography. So in this way, this is the half filter paper. So you have to cut with the help of scissor like that. So this is the rectangular strip, and once it cut in a rectangular way, make any one of its end as a pointed in like arrow shape. Okay, so that it will easily dip at a single point in a running solvent, and through this point the running solvent move in upward direction throughout the entire vertical strip of this Whatman filter paper. Okay, so in this way we can cut the rectangular arrow shaped pointed Whatman paper for the vertical chromatography, and the circular paper for the horizontal chromatography. In order to run the setup, we have to prepare the running solvent, that is called as mobile phase. Another phase is called as stationary phase. Okay, so what is the principle behind this experiment is that whenever we upload the sample on a Whatman filter paper, so that Whatman filter paper strip act as a stationary phase, and whatever the solution that we have to prepare now, which is a combination of butanol and acetone in a ratio 3:1, so that is called as mobile phase. Okay, so we have to first of all prepare the solution for the mobile phase. So for that we have to take 10 ml of acetone. With the help of measuring cylinder you can measure it. 10 ml of acetone, and in that means one part is acetone and 3 part is a butanol, that is 30 ml. So let us consider it as a 30 ml. Okay, so that will makes a ratio butanol is to acetone, that is 3:1, and that is forming our mobile phase. Okay. Now what is happen, whatever the sample which we have, which we will upload on a Whatman strip, so whenever this dried loaded samples comes in a contact with mobile phase will run from one end to the another end of the strips. So along with that, whatever the solution, whatever the chemical components which are present in that loaded sample, they will start to separate. Okay, they will start to run. The component which is more dissolved in a mobile phase, that will run far more distance, rather than the component which is not dissolved up to that much extent, that will remain, that will move a very less distance. So this is the principle. Okay, and and from that we have to calculate one value that is called as RF value. Okay, so for that we have to run the setup. So how we can run the setup? So first of all we have to upload a sample with the help of capillary tube. So this is our extracted spinach sample. This is the capillary tube. So we have to dip that capillary tube into the spinach extract, filter extract. Okay. So look at here, the sample is entered into the capillary tube, and now at the tip of that Whatman filter paper, so where the third angle of the triangle is there, so that is the location where we have to upload the spot. The spot should not be at the extreme end. The spot should not be in a direct contact with the running solvent. It is having somewhat distant from the arrow point. Okay, so you can do the same process for 2 to 3 times, so that a proper amount of spinach sample get loaded over a specific location on the Whatman filter paper. Okay, and now after that you have to put that strip for a dry, because drying of the spot is very important. Drying of the loaded sample is very important in order to run the components which are present inside along with the mobile phase. In the same way, it is an entire strip, and here also we can do the same procedure. We can upload a 4 sample, we can upload the 4 spot of a same sample or 4 different sample at the same time in this horizontal chromatography. Okay, so here we loading the first spot. The advantage of horizontal chromatography is that at the same time with same amount of chemical and requirement you got 4 reading. However, in vertical chromatography with same amount of chemical and requirement you will get only 1 reading. Okay. So you can verify whether your results are exactly or not. So by means of 4 reading you can verify it properly rather than in a single setup. Okay. So at the 4 corner, just slightly away, means 0.5 centimeter away from the centrally placed hole, we have uploaded that spinach spot and let them to dry, so that we can run the running solvent after experimental setup. Okay, so keep that loaded sample for dry at least for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so you can see here the loaded samples are already dried on the Whatman filter paper. Here this is the strip for the horizontal chromatography, and this is the strip for the vertical chromatography. Now we are having our running solvent ready to upload. So for that, first of all we will perform the vertical chromatography. So this is the jar in which we have to upload or pour our running solvent. Okay, and after that you have to fix the strip on which the spot is already dried, the loaded spot is already dried, and we have to merge that strip in such a way that only the tip comes in a contact with running solvent and not the actual loaded spot. Okay, so in this way you have to take care the spot is not immersed in a running solvent. So here we can make an adjustment. So always keep the loaded spot away from the in a direct contact with the running solvent. Okay, so in the same way we can perform the vertical chromatography also, but for that we need a blotting paper. So just make a roll of a blotting paper. Here it is just a provisions to make that strip in a contact with the running solvent. So roll it, and you have to insert that paper in the center of the strip which is having a central hole. so that the one end of this strip is in contact with the running solvent and the another end is a free. Okay, so we can place it like that. So before that we have to pour the running solvent in the petri plate, and after that we have to place the strip in this way and invert the another petri plate over that. Okay, so we can cut the upper part for our convenience. So it is better to remove the upper parts earlier rather than the actual setup. Okay, so this is your experimental setup. Now we have to wait for 15 to 20 minutes so that the running solvent move through the Whatman filter paper, and once it reaches up to the loaded spot, it will spread the component which is present in the loaded sample, and later on after drying that Whatman filter paper strip, whatever the color bands you will get, from that you can identify what are the various pigments which are present in the spinach leaf. In the same way, you have to count the final level of the running solvent, means this, you have to mark the spot up to what extent the running solvent run on the Whatman filter paper, and you have to also mark the loaded spot, the appearance of a loaded spot in the running sample. Okay, so thank you. So let's wait for 10 to 15 minutes, and after that we will discuss regarding with the result. We have to observe what appears on the Whatman filter paper strip. Okay student, so you can see here the loaded spots are already get dried and the running solvents has reaches up to all corners of the Whatman filter paper. Here also you can see this is the loaded spot and the running solvent runs throughout the end of the strip. Okay, so whenever the running solvent runs through the strip, it will also separate the pigments which are present inside the loaded spot. So you can see here, this is the accumulations of different color. Here also in this strip, at the end of every corner of the loaded sample, you can clearly observe a different color accumulations, pale green, pale yellow, yellow color. So these are the color pigments which are separated due to the movements of the running solvent. Okay, now what we have to do, so we have to calculate the RF value. Okay, so RF value can be calculated just by, so it is a ratio of how much extent the solute run to the total extent to which running solvents run. So you can see here the solutes runs up to the close proximity of the loaded sample. However, the running solvents is run up to the end of the strip. Okay, so you can clearly measure from the center of the loaded spot in centimeter how much the solute runs. Here it comes to 0.4 or 0.5 centimeter, and how much running solvent run. The ratio of how much distance solute run to the running solvent is nothing but the RF value, and this RF value gives a clear picture regarding with which pigments are more dissolved in a running solvent, and those pigments which are less dissolved in a running solvent. Okay, so those who are having a highest RF value, they run more and they appears at a far distance from the loaded sample. However, those who are having less RF value, they are dissolved less in a running solvent and they are appear close to the loaded sample. Okay, so this is the simple experiment and very important for your exam point of view. Thank you again. Okay, now comes to the final part of this experiment, and that is observations, and finally we will make a comments on the result. So student, every one of you know that in the beginning of the experiment we have uploaded a spinach sample here with the help of this capillary tube. Okay, so this is slightly away from the this apex of this chromatography paper, because this strip will deep into the solvent, and that's why the loaded spot, that we have to take a care that loaded spot never come in a direct contact with the solvent. Okay, so once the spinach extract is uploaded here, and the solvent allowed to pass through this chromatographic paper, we will get a separation of pigments which are present inside the spinach extract. And now if we allow this paper to dry, finally we will get a different color band. So look at here, the very close, the first band, that is chlorophyll B from the point of loaded sample, then followed by chlorophyll A, which is slightly green in color, then pale yellow color xanthophyll is there, and then dark yellow color carotene is there. Okay, so this is the different color bands which indicate the different pigments which are present in the spinach sample. Now the sequence of this chlorophyll spot, the chlorophyll B always comes first, then chlorophyll A comes second, xanthophyll third, and at the last the carotene is there. What it indicates? It indicates these pigments, they are separated in a proper sequence just because of their molecular weight. Those who are having higher molecular weight, they run very less and they appears very close to the loaded spot. Then chlorophyll, in the same way, those who are having a very less molecular weight, it will move a very fast and large distance, and that's why it will appear at the extreme end, at the another end of the strip. And this dotted line indicate that this is the final limit up to which we have to allow the chromatographic solvent to run. Okay, so this is the our band which we obtain after the experimentation. Now yeah, we have to calculate the RF value. What is RF? So RF value we can easily calculate by just by knowing the two factors. One is what is the distance that solvent runs on the chromatographic paper. So look at here. Uh, so from this beginning point, we have to measure up to what extent the solvent moves. This is the limit of the final limit of the solvent which we have decided, which we have end the experiment as soon as the solvent reaches up to this mark. Okay, and in the same period we have to calculate how much distance that pigment travel. Okay, so suppose example we have to calculate, suppose example we have to calculate the RF value for the chlorophyll B. So it is very easy. We have to take a ratio how much extent the solvent moves to how much extent the chlorophyll moves from the loaded sample. Okay, so that will gives you a RF value, and in this way we can calculate the RF value for each and every pigment. Then next, now look at here, this is how we are obtained the number of bands. 4 bands we are obtained, and we have measured the distance in mm. Okay, with respect to the band, look at here, the distance, as the distance increases, the bands different colors are appear, light green, light yellow and yellow, as I have shown you already in the previous diagram. So look at here, once we have confirm our result in the form of different color bands, and by applying the formula we can calculate the RF value for a different pigments or different band which we appear. So now look at here, those who are very close to the loaded sample, that is chlorophyll B, that is having a less RF value. It is followed by chlorophyll A, it is having a RF value 0.65. Then at the third position xanthophyll, it is having a RF value of 0.71. And then carotene, which is appear at the extreme end, at the last end, that is having a highest RF value, that is 0.95. It means that the molecule, the pigment which appear very close to the loaded sample, that is having a less RF value, and which is appear at the end of the at the extreme end of the chromatographic paper, which is having a highest RF value, having a lesser molecular weight. Okay, so this is the interpretations you can draw. And student, please keep these values in your mind. Keep the sequence of the separations of paper plant pigments from the spinach leaf in your minds with respect to its color. Okay, so thank you once again.